That's true.
That's hard.
That's true. That's true.
That's hard.
So going back a little bit, trying to switching gears, but still on the same topic. What did we learn? We talking about images and self-image and men. So what have we learned, or what did we take from our past or learn from our past that caused us to be the person or the man that we are today? Now, maybe a lot, but you can throw some things out there that we've learned and picked up that causes us right now to be like, okay, this is why I'm like this as a man, in a positive light. You know, do you have anything that ring a bell that come to your attention that causes you to?
I just think that for all of us, when we've fallen, when we've made really big, huge mistakes, I think it can make us better. You know, when we go through adversity, especially, you know, when we mess up. I look at that incident with Will, since you brought him up. Man, I'm hoping that he just comes better, you know, becomes a better person because of that, even though it was some people say it was in the moment or whatever. But I think at those times, man, you can really dig down deep. I know for me, it's God, like, not liking something about me. And he's exposing it. Maybe I was blind to it, and he's exposing this issue that is sin. That is sin. And he wants it changed. He wants it to stop. You know, he gives us that opportunity. He's patient, which is great. You know, and gives us that opportunity, you know, to you know, he exposes it. So that's my take on it.
Well, mine is, it's what I've learned over the years. It's regardless of how poor you are or how wealthy you become, if you don't have a relationship with Christ, it's going to be a hard road. It's going to be a hard road at some point in your life, and I've seen that. I mean, with humble beginnings, and having little, having a lot, or being comfortable, what you call comfortable. Without Christ, you're just empty, and that's the biggest thing, and it's the hardest thing I try to give to my children, and I try to do it by example, because I know if they don't get that nugget, regardless how much education they receive, how much money they receive, it's all vanity. It's gone. It will leave you. Trust me, it will. Even the Jay-Z's of the world will tell you that. The money may never leave them, but that emptiness will be there without that superior being that's bigger than you. I just firmly believe that in my heart, and that's what I've seen.
Yeah. What about you, Jason?
For me, that as a young Black man, I think the value that I've learned is my respect is different for any man that's present. Any man that's fighting to be involved with his family, to be involved with his children. And when I will disconnect relationships when I see certain people are not honoring their father and mother, are not taking care of their kids, and are not sowing into relationships. And I understand marriages, you know, that's a whole different situation, but you know, the things that I feel stick to you is your children, and your responsibilities, and honoring your father and mother, because that doesn't mean they always right, but just honoring them, not being toxic. You know what I'm saying? I know some things gets muddy, but if a man can't do that, it's hard for me to respect what he's got going. And he can have as much money, much resources, but it's not impressive to me. And I've seen men with far less on an economical status that has so much more character that I honor and I'm at awe about, and that impress me. And so those things to me are way more valuable. And, you know, as I've probably mentioned up here before, Jay-Z was my favorite rapper. I used to be a Jay-Z fanatic, but I know some men that put him under sweep him under the rug, because from what I've seen in the character and because that's what it matters to me. You know what I mean? And what you do on when I ain't gonna say it's not when nobody's looking. It's just what you do consistently tells you a lot about who you are, and that's what is valuable to me.
Yeah. I for me it was several things. One thing was and it's my name, right? So I'll say this. So growing up, it was all about Esau, your last name. Your last name represents like who you are, right? When I was little, right? In certain situations. So don't go out there and embarrass me, or don't go out there and do this because you represent me, right? When I was young. But when I got older, it became an understanding of that is 100% true. But now, like Tracy said, we take it over to Christianity, and we understand that it's Jesus' name who we need to be representing. It's Jesus' name who we need to follow, and the name of not to tarnish his name, not to tarnish, because my dad's like, don't do this, don't do that. Because like I said, our name is this, and you don't want nobody, but it's like Jesus is the one that we should name, that we shouldn't tarnish. It's Jesus who's the one that's looking at us. Jesus is the one, and others, like we talked about earlier, as far as like being an example and fearing God, like that's one thing that I carried from back in the day into now. It still is the fear of God that we all should have.
Yeah.
The fear of his name, and it got me out of a lot of sticky situations. But that's what I learned, and that's kind of mold that kind of mold me.
I got one for all the brothers out here. I'm gonna be very transparent with you.
Uh-huh.
One of the biggest things I learned in my marriage, and I learned this about 15 years ago, and it was how to lead, to be a leader in my household, not to be silent, but be a leader from a godly perspective.
Hold on, not to be what, Tracy?
How to lead in my household. And what I meant by that was...
No, you said not to be something. I didn't hear that word. I'm sorry. You said not to be something. You say silent or...
Yeah, not to be silent in the household.
Okay.
So often as men, and I've used this terminology, you can debate it, don't be a prisoner in your own home. What I mean by that is, I don't care who makes the most money, who bringing in the money. God put you the head. You lead by help making decisions. Well, it's fine to let your wife come up with this and that, but you still should be involved as well. And so often in my early years of marriage, be my 25th year coming up, I was kind of passive. Oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna go here. Yeah, whatever you say, run here. Oh, we wanna buy this, we wanna buy that. And the marriage is as one, so you can't be a silent leader in your household. You gotta be there to make those decisions. And sometimes we do it wanting to keep peace, but God made you a head. He put you on watch. So if anything goes wrong, you want to be in that decision, and you got to man up to that decision. That helped me tremendously. I was struggling in that for many years.
Wow. Hey, Esau, I appreciate you moderating. I just got to go in for a second.
Go in.
I got to holler at Bro Brown real quick. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? He got that 25-year tender on his necklace. You know what I mean? First and foremost, salute. Tracy, what do you say to the men that they're not confrontational? They don't want to go to bed with that, you know what I'm saying? That cold side. What do you say to them men, Tracy, that it's not that they timid, they're just not confrontational, and they love their wife so much they rather just, you know, they rather make her happy, even though they sometimes in their heart know it's not the best situation. But and then what about the guys, Tracy, Because I think you said you did certain, might have, I don't know if you said you implied that you did certain things for a season. I don't know if you said that, but how do you change that, Tracy, if you have been letting a lot of stuff just flow and you wasn't leading, and now all of a sudden you want to be this new dictator slash, oh, you got so much opinion. I know it's not that, Tracy. I'm just saying
Yeah,
how
right.
it comes across from the opposite side. Oh, you know. So how do you deal with that pressure?